everyone, Krista Moser here. Today I get to show you my latest pattern. This is 2 scoops. Isn't that fun? It's got an ice cream cone block and a candy block separated by these triangle units. There's no Y seams in this pattern. I've designed it as a lap size quilt and also a baby quilt. Both are included in the instructions. So you get the instructions for both sizes and fabric and cutting instructions, layout, all that kind of stuff. It's fat quarter friendly, so everything you see here, lights and darks in different shades, the light pink, the dark pink, all fat quarters. So if you've got that kind of stuff laying around, this is a good one to use up your scraps. What I thought I would show you today, as well as cutting instructions and kind of some of the assembly, is some of my pressing techniques and the importance of a 1/4 inch seam. That's something that a lot of people have their own version of a 1/4 inch seam, which is okay in most cases. But when you have a quilt that actually really does depend on a 1/4 inch seam coming out, this is how I handle that. So what I've got here, let me set this aside. What I've got here is a strip set. Simple strip set. You could also use stripe fabric for this part. This is the candy block. You'll see here, there's 4 different strips. They're narrow strips, and so what you'll see, each 1/4 inch, it actually matters. You want those to come out to actually be a 1/4 inch because the whole strip set needs to measure 3.5 inches across before cutting. And also the pressing of those strip sets. You'll notice with this green one, I pressed those seams open. I tend to do that a lot when the actual accuracy of the width of the strip set matters, because pressing those seams open expands the whole strip set and you really get the most out of it. What'll happen oftentimes if you press your seams to one side or the other is you end up with a little fold of fabric in there and it'll diminish the size. And if every single seam has something like that going on, you could be a 1/4 inch off or maybe even more. So I thought I would show you my technique for pressing seams open. I've got this strip set here with my four sewn seams, and I thought I would show you just how I handle that. So let me pull my wool mat up. Pressing seams open is one of those things that is kind of tedious as you're learning, but when I teach classes and I teach this method, so many people are helped by it. With a couple of trial runs, they're pros, and then their piecing comes out really, really accurate. So what I'm going to start here is I'm going to start with my thumb, and I'm just going to get a little flat part going, separating that seam out. Now, I'm going to take the nose of the iron, and I'm just going to put it right in that seam. And I'm going to hold the piece up and give it just a slight tug. And you'll notice the nose of the iron is acting like the bow of a boat, just parting that seam right down the middle. We'll keep pulling this. Just that slight tug. And move on to the next one. Now here's what happens with the next one. You don't want the pressing of the second seam to fold the first seam over. So I'm going to use the nose of the iron and I'm kicking the iron out to the side. You'll notice I use steam too. That is a personal preference. You do not have to use steam. By kicking the side of the iron out, it covers that first seam so that I don't end up folding it back over. I'm going to turn the strip around and get my thumb, the little start. Give that strip set just a gentle tug, lifting it up. And right to the end. Now I always finish it off from the front, and I want to see if it got any waviness to it. You can correct from the top side. Just give it a nice final press from the top. Use spray starch or best press, flatter. There's quite a few products out there that work really well. And there it is. Really, really flat. This will make for easy cutting and then of course easy piecing later on. So let's set that aside. Okay. Got some steam through my wool mat there. Alright, so here for the cutting. This one's has been all pressed out. Now, this pattern uses the Creative Grids mini 60-degree diamond ruler. You can also use the large ruler if you have it. You're just going to be using the small end of it. All the cuts can be done with the large ruler though, so if that's something you have, it might just be easier to use the mini ruler if you have that. What we're going to do here, lining it up, the 3.5-inch line and the flat tip across the other end. Trim, trim, and then turn the ruler to get the next cut. You're going to do this all the way across your strip. Notice this gets you 2 different triangles, one with the light at the base and one with the dark at the base. So you're going to keep those in separate stacks because they will end up making 2 different candy blocks. What I've got here is that very thing. So these were cut from one strip set. You can see how it was like this all the way across. So set these aside. I'm going to work with the dark ones and then the background cuts. So what I've got, now this is of course just for the candy block. The ice cream cone block has quite a few more cuts. We are going to take the end of the strip and I'm just going to cut it off with my angle. This is the cleanup cut. Just like that. Now, moving the ruler down the strip, 3.5-inch line. The diamond line is what I'm using on that fresh, clean cut. And taking the tip off. We need 3 cuts like this. Set those aside. Now we've got this next one. Same thing. This one is important to keep your strip folded. Sometimes you can cut through a single layer. This one you'll want to cut through your strip when it's a double layer, so you end up with mirror image cuts. I'll talk about that here in a second. I'm going to clean off the end and then move it down. 3.5-inch line. And that flat tip. You need 2 sets like this. And here's why it's important to keep that strip folded. It's because you open it up, you end up with mirror image cuts. Diamonds don't matter. You can turn them any direction. These parallelograms, they will matter. Okay, so for assembly, here's the fun part. We're going to take our striped fabrics and go like this. So you get this kind of pinwheel look. Turn that one the other way. Just like that. And then for our twist tie ends, they'll come in like this. And that is where these mirror image pieces matter. Here and here. And then our background. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. So the way this gets assembled, those 3 together. Sew in your first seam, press that seam open, and then sew in the next one. Same thing here. Sew in first seam, and then the next one. And then you'll sew this onto that unit, making a larger triangle unit. For the side units, you're going to sew those 2 together. You're going to sew those 2 together. You'll sew this one on, and then the background set gets sewn to it, making a diamond unit. Same thing with this side. Those 2 get sewn together. These 2 get sewn together. That one comes on. We end up with diamond unit, triangle, triangle. And then you're going to sew here to here. So that's a half a hexagon, and then here to here, making your candy block into 2 halves. And then you sew the 2 halves together, so ending you with a whole hexagon block. To fit that hexagon in with the ice cream cone blocks, goes in a row like this. You end up with these triangle units, so there's no Y seams. This triangle unit goes to this candy block and this triangle unit. So everything has got these seams this way, units this way, and then the units go together in a row, creating a 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, all the way with no Y seams. Isn't that fun? And those 1/4 inch seam allowances, that's what we talked about in the first, where this little piece needs to be 3.5 inches across. I've got a PDF download for a tutorial step-by-step how to get a perfect 1/4 inch seam. So we're going to link to that in the bottom of this video. It's just on the tutorials page at KristaMoser.com, and it just walks you through step-by-step. If you've got a certain kind of machine set up, maybe you can't move your needle position to adjust for a 1/4 inch seam, then we've got different ways to handle that so you can really dial in your 1/4 inch seam and get something that has a really good piecing experience once you've gotten that really dialed in. I wanted to show you one more thing. I took one of these ice cream cone blocks and just did it as a single pillow. So there's lots of options for this pattern. Let me show you the cover of it. Here's the pattern. It's a booklet style with colored instructions and all the layouts for both the lap quilt and the baby quilt. And it's a really fun pattern to do. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.